Okay. Timestamp September 6, 2025, about 7:30 p.m. I'm whooped. I did get it together. Took me a minute or 30. Um, because this is the dork that I am. Um, I listen to. I've got two really good uh, Haunted Mansion audio files that are basically the Orlando Haunted Mansion, Paul Frees, all the sound, you know. I am that dork. I've got two back to back on one of my playlists that are both like 20. I think one's 28 minutes, one's 30 minutes, and that's how you know it's a compiled file because I want to say, mind you, it has all the a lot of the the prologue and epilogue stuff too, but still. Um, on fast mode, I want to say the ride is about 9 minutes. On slow mode, it's about 13, um, which I think is personally fabulous. That it's because I prefer when it's on slow, but they don't do that much anymore because they can get more people through OmniMover and all that. But 13 minutes, yeah. If you're gonna do it like that. But yeah, the recordings I want to say are like 28 and like right at 28 and right at 30 minutes, and I listened to the two of them back to back 3 times. So that's 3 hours, and I did listen to Country Bear Jamboree, the original, twice, and a couple of other attractions because I've got a couple of Disney. Okay, I've got 5 Disney playlists that are basically going through the park and the audio, like some of the area loops and then some of the ride audio and stuff like that, because I'm that dork. But it's my happy place. It's kind of where I go to, and I can. Part of my brain is at Disney World right now, and the other part, the short straw part, is doing whatever it is I'm doing at the moment. But reeks of gasoline in here. Something on the lanai had gasoline or something and tipped. There's a wonderful, wonderful gasoline smell coming from the lanai. And I'm hoping the rain starts again because with the way the lanai ceiling is not attached, it'll hopefully wash away whatever it is. It's really bad. And I see where it is. It's like on the way to the workshop because the ground's kind of... The whole lanai is moistish, but that area is like bubbly. Has like not a foam, but it's bubbles. It's like Sprite, except it doesn't smell like Sprite. I wish it smelled like Sprite. Sprite would be fun. But I'm working on wiping off some of the power tools that I'm going to try and put out tomorrow morning. I've got about 13 pounds of chicken on the stove right now, defrosting a little bit, so I can start to work with it. One of the complaints that I got from my girl was that Alex isn't really eating properly. And I said, well, I was prepping meals, and the report I got back, it's lovely. The report I got back from Tiny when Tiny was still living there was that they were the only one eating them, that Alex just ignored it. I was asked, can you buy some convenience foods, some hot pies, things of that nature? I'm like, no, I will not do that. For the simple fact that that kid can eat 4 or 5 as a meal. And suddenly we're doing 4 or 5 hot pies as a meal 2 or 3 times a day. Everybody's worried about skyrocketing food prices. How about we don't do it stupid? And I explained that much nicer than I'm putting it here. That was for comedic effect. And my wife was like, yeah, okay, that could get excessive quick. I'm like, yeah, no. I understand he doesn't cook, but I am getting like fixings for good sandwiches and stuff like that. And if you're there, you could. You could. She hates cooking. I personally love it. It's like, you get to create something that goes in your belly. If you're good at it, you get to eat art. Kinda, yeah. I know a lot of your pastry chefs out there would agree. Oh man, that gasoline smells really strong. So yeah, I mean, if you live on McDonald's and convenience foods, and you're concerned about your money going away, you're doing it wrong. You need to learn how to prepare at least some food at your own house. That's just kind of an old man's pro tip there. It's funny, I keep saying old man. I got 2 friends that watch my videos that will DM me, but you're not old. I know, I have. But if you're Gen Alpha or Z or something like that watching this, you might be like, man, that guy's an old fart. I'm 54. Realistically, I think I look fairly good. Am I Adonis? No, I'm Marcus. It's a different guy. But and the camera adds like 10 pounds too. But yeah, no, I'm doing alright for my age. I was much prettier once, but I still look alright. And actually, I'm not really worried about it. It's not worth worrying about. You can kind of see the before and after. This is one of the ones that was prettier. Like case-wise, there's other ones out there that are orange ones that are an interesting shade of gray, But it's going to make them look a little bit more presentable. Because the insides are fine, but they were in a case. That's the point of it. Some of these are used, and some of them, I don't think my dad ever used them. I don't know if he picked them up at the auctions, picked it up from the store. I don't even know. I mean, I'm really not exaggerating when I say there's hundreds. Probably 100 that are in cases, and some of them aren't necessarily power tools. Some of them are. Actually, I think the one below this is, he labeled it electrical test equipment. Which I'm going to guess means that it's electrical testing equipment. This is a drill doctor, the drill bit sharpener. Oh, okay. I believe this fits firmly on the nipple. Yeah, nothing. Voltage tester. Stud finder. I'm right here. The search is over. You found him. measure. That's the craziest butt plug I've ever seen. I mean, plug grip. I've never seen one of these before. Obviously, it goes in a double, and it's so that it grounds it out while you're working on it. You don't accidentally stick a penny in there. Yeah. Warning: disconnect power before use. If lamp lights up, verify the power source is disconnected. Oh, it's got a light on the inside. If you can see that. There we go, kind of. So there's two bulbs. Is that to test if you have a current on the top or the bottom of both? Guess who's not an electrician? This guy. But I can make guesses. Oh, fairly smart. Marquette. It's my twin sister. Thin right marker. Oh, wow. It's going to sound stupid, but based on the look of this is a very old damn marker. This is like very old marker. Got some other gadgety goo in here. Digital circuit detective. Circuit breaker identifier. Read instructions before use. But there are no instructions. My dad has the instructions somewhere else. I gotta rely on that French guy Google to tell me what I'm doing. I'm gonna wipe this down. I don't know that I'm putting that out as is. I may strip the components out because realistically the components that he has in here take up about 10% of the volume. It's kind of silly. So I made to sell the individual pieces. Sell the case. It's an old school hard case, like so many people I know. But yeah, it was very warm out. Easily the feels like over 100, and then it did actually start to bucket about an hour ago. To the dismay of Scrappy. We were in the workshop, I heard it start, and I had to come back in the house for something. And he was following me, and he just was like, there's a couple of sections where you aren't covered as you're coming back to the house. And he knows that, and he's displeased about that. I thought it was funny. Oh no, water. You know. He's a little bit of a press where it comes that kind of thing. I'm gonna get wet. I hate that. It's all very Kevin Klein in and out. No, but it looks horrible. Love that movie. Kevin Klein in and out. Really damn funny. But I think Kevin Kline's amazing in anything. It's also great in Pirates of Penzance. Oh, they're biting me. Come on, thank you. Yeah, I'll stroke that out. You'd think my dad's workshop was a grimy environment. Does he like rebuild cars and shit? Oh dear God. Roto-Zip. See, and I actually do have a clue about some of this stuff, just because I worked at Home Depot and or Lowe's collectively for about 9 or 10 years. Worked at Home Depot for about 4.5. I was a whistleblower on a member of upper management, and then lost my job 3 months later. Very strange. I was the receiving manager, and for the first time we had actually passed I had just become receiving manager a couple months before, and for the first time in 11 years we passed inventory, which if you do retail, you know about that. So I'm the receiving manager, we passed inventory. It's an important note here. And then 2 months later I get a review that was one of the needs improvement reviews. Get it right or you're terminated. I'm sure it's fine. So, upper management retaliated. Which was not cool, obviously, because I did what was right. I had an upper manager that was being abusive to employees, like the kind where lawsuits happen. And I know that because I've worked that side of it too. They did get fired, but then over the next 6 months, all 3 people that were the major people involved in that case investigation were forced to find new employment. Kind of bullshit. So I actually swore off retail. Didn't want to do retail ever again. It was a few years before the shop. So it was like 2005, something like that. And 3 people within like a 1-week period told me Lowe's was hiring for a new store. Because I do pay attention to this sort of thing, when the 3rd person said, hey, you know there's a Lowe's opening up, I was kind of like, fine, God, universe, I'll go. And they hired me into a management position on the spot. And I worked there for about close to 5 years. And it wasn't bad. They treated me pretty good. Yeah, my position went away, and I was offered like 3 other lateral moves, but at the same time, a buddy of mine down in Bradenton was working on a business project and needed help, and had actually rung me up, as it were. So I took that also as a hint that I was supposed to go down to Bradenton. And I know that I was supposed to go down to Bradenton, because that particular thing fell through. But in the course, this is a long story, but in the course of that, he decided to open up a hobby store. And then like a month later, 2 months later, maybe 3 months later, realized that he wasn't very good at it. And his wife was threatening to kill him if he didn't get rid of it. So he kind of handed it over to me. And I grew it for 8-9 years. And I loved it. And it was just supposed to be a business. It was just supposed to be a job, you know, something to make the money. And I did some of that. It wasn't gangbusters. It kept us alive. But I made a difference in a lot of people's lives. So, and that's how I know I was supposed to do it. Weird, right? Just supposed to be a business venture. Made some great friends that I'll have forever. Did some amazing theater. And apparently altered the paths of a few dozen, nay, a few hundred people. Well, I don't think I'd trade that. I get asked, do I wish I were still doing it? Yeah, kind of. I mean, I'll go where I'm supposed to go, you know? But, I mean, if you were to leave it up to me, you know, say you could go back and do any, you have to work, but you can go back and do any job that you've done before. I want a heartbeat. No contest. Stressful? Yeah, because when you own a business, it's all on you. Every good decision, you can pat yourself on the back. Every bad decision, you can take yourself in the office and yell at yourself. You know, hopefully behind closed doors. Keep professional. But yeah, no, I know the directions that I would have wanted to take it. In the respect of, we were a hobby store, we did comic books. We had a falling out with Diamond. Apparently they're having a falling out with finances, which they play dirty. So just, if you're seeing that in the news and you're thinking, oh wow, that's terrible. No, don't feel bad for them. They play really dirty with their customers. Any hardship that they're going through right now, if you believe in this sort of thing, that's karmic. It's karmic. You know, just their monopoly on the industry for so many years was shenanigans on their part. Shenanigans. They play dirty. They don't care. They'll hurt you. They don't mind. But we were doing older comics. We stopped doing new comics. We were doing older comics. Gaming, Magic was big. Kept trying to, we had a Yu-Gi-Oh crowd and we were working on Pokemon and rings and a couple of other things, trying to get those off the ground. The theater stuff was honestly solid. I know some of the people that came to the Shack hated the fact that we did that. But the improv was really, really popular. It was making a difference with people, which, I know that sounds so stupid. Theater changes lives. Theater changes lives. You want to learn how to be quick on your feet, more confident. Hell, that's enough right there. Those two things. You want to learn how to be more able to respond with rapidity. And if you want to develop more self-confidence, and that's really key. Like yourself, be confident. Do theater. Do theater. Join an improv group. It will change your life. Is it scary? Yeah, can be. And it's worth it every time. Well, almost every time. I've done a couple shows that maybe they weren't worth it. But nothing that happened at the Shack. Way before. That there were a couple that maybe, yeah. I certainly didn't learn anything from them. Except don't do that again. No, I'm not going into details. I'm not sure what just made that sound effect. That was cool. But yeah, no, I wouldn't have changed that, and in fact, would have tried to expand it in some way, shape, or form. And because I've gotten this question 100 times from people who used to go to the shop. If you're watching this and you're a Shackler, we tried to reopen. My God, we tried, but it took You need a lot of capital to be able to do that because you got to do first, last on places, and they're not cheap. They're not cheap. And I'm going to say his name, Brig, the guy that was basically our manager at the property, really did us a lot of solids as far as giving us some breaks on financials and whatnot. Really, really, really huge. But he liked what we did, so we got some favors here and there, which was kind of great because it wasn't easy to do what we did and still keep the lights on and food on the table. It's a true story. We tried to reopen. Honestly, I tried for a year. I gave myself a year, and I said at the end of that year, if I haven't been able to make it happen, I will know that this is not a challenge that I'm being presented. It's me being told that it's done. You know what I mean? That's when I will know that the plug is pulled. So I gave it a year. Tried all kinds of crazy shit trying to come up with something and just could not make it work. The reason we closed was not poor management. I've gotten that one a few times. Thanks for that. It was because the owners of the building, there were 3 guys, and the one wanted to keep the building up and running and whatnot, and one of the others convinced the other that they should go ahead and sell. So 2 out of 3 decided to sell. They sold the building, and it was bought by a developer who absolutely had no intention of sharing. It wasn't something we could re-up or whatnot. They were going to be, I think it's a Bravo now, the building. Because if you aren't familiar, if you are familiar, it was a like a little strip mall with like 6 shop fronts. Each one was about 1,400 square feet. So all total, we'll be looking at 6 times 14, 84, 8,400, maybe 9,000 square foot building that was set up as 6 shops deep. So I want to say it was like, why was it 20? I think it was like 20 by 60 or 20 by 70, something like that. So it was just kind of a long rectangle. And for us, the front, like 800 square feet was shop front, indoor gaming, back 400 was our theater. Black box could fit about 50 people, nothing fancy. But there was some magic made there. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I'd do it again. Especially with what I know now, and yeah, I'd do it again. Some shows I'd love to do that I don't know how we do in that space. I don't think it's possible, frankly. Next to Normal, Sweeney, Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, good luck with that. Really need 2-story and a lot wider than that. Because I think the stage was 14 wide, 12 deep. Something like that. Might have been 16 wide. Now you got me thinking. No, the building was it was 24 wide. So the stage was like 20, and then it was like 14 deep. 20 wide, 14 deep. Roughly. Like thinking of the platforms, because I built the stage in 4x8 plats. Anyway. Hey, Mr. Wilson. Paid attention. Didn't it say something in the yearbook that I was going to open a theater? And that goofy section in the senior section, in the yearbooks where it says, what they're going to be doing in 20 years or whatever. I think somebody, because it was written by like other people for us, and somebody said something about I just thought about that. That was weird. That I was going to open like a dinner theater that served hot dogs or something like that, because they're making fun of my high school job a little bit. On a humorous note, we did have some lock-ins at the shack where we did, in fact, grill out hot dogs and do karaoke. So, more or less, the psychic predictions were correct. The components are all there, just not necessarily in the correct order. You know how it is. You know. But I did serve hot dogs in my own joint, and I did sausages, burgers, also chicken sandwiches, grilled out for my kids, went all kinds of crazy, and did do theater. So, correct. But yeah, I'd happily do it again. Need more space for that, though. But I'm a little busy doing what I'm doing for now. Exactly. Man, Zybots with that timing. Seriously, that's like quality. Unlike that gasoline smell that just won't go away. I'm over here huffing. A couple of my cats are looking at me like, what did you do? Dude, I think I'm growing a seventh paw. What is going on? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. And I'm going to put these on the table in the living room because they are freshly cleaned. And I'm going to take a shower because, wow, am I a salt lick. It's mostly dried now, and you can see where I was just... And I smell great. And then I can see the chicken on the stove. Big frozen bag, and it's still, I'm going to put it this way just because I'm going to put it this way. It still has an erection, so I know it hasn't defrosted completely. The bag is still like that. It hasn't gone. So it's still frozen. That's going to be a minute anyway, but I'll take a shower and that'll be a little bit more time for it to thaw. I'm going to throw those nasty wipes away. Ew. And I'm not going to stay up too late tonight because garage sale. Let's try and cut through this a little bit. If we can. Oh, and I did get a package today. It's not exactly exciting, but it's happy for me. Got a new phone. It's not for me. It's a house phone. So I have to switch over the number that is the house phone here to that, changing over to Mint, and I can start. If you watch some of my recordings during the day, and the phone obnoxiously ringing in the background, I can completely unplug it, but I'm trying to look at the digital readout most of the time, because there are people in my parents' lives and in my life that still don't even know that my mom is dead. And I put out messages and feelers, and have not been able to actually make contact with like 3 people in particular. True story. And yet we are inundated here with telemarketers and the like, because old people are easy to con. So I need a phone line that I can start call blocking, getting messages on reliably, and yeah, because whatever, and it's not even that Dad knows how to operate it and I don't. Dad doesn't know what Dad did either. because he, on many occasions, couldn't get that phone to work at all. He'd try and dial out and it would hang up on him, and he has screwed up his own phone system. So I'm going to put in a new phone system that will work correctly, because I'm setting the damn thing up myself. Okay. So anyway, you can't fix your life, I'll fix your life for you. Great, cool. You're making me crazy. This heat, it's making me crazy. So anyway, who doesn't love Jack? Make it a great day.